see you have lifts in or something.
Yeah. I haven't been getting a lot of sun either. It's all indoor workouts.
Yeah, inside, yeah.
I got paler. Some pull-ups, I stretched out a little bit.
Yeah, Mike got an upgrade. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Good. Did you know we were playing you on just now? Or you're like, oh crap, that's me?
I did. I thought about just not coming on.
Yeah. It all is.
I heard that Matt Cohen came on with his fly on that.
Oh man. It's a nightmare.
It's like a tiny little protrusion. No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, people are made differently.
Everybody has a different body, and that happens to have a tiny.
But great looking guy.
Oh yeah. God graced him in so many other ways.
All right, we'll leave the stage now.
Can I just tell you something? I want to share something. So I had my meet and greet earlier, and one of the rules about meet and greets, I don't know. Excuse me, we're trying to have a conversation here. One of the rules about meet and greets is that you're not what happens in the meet and greet stays in the meet and greet. And I'm about to violate that part of the rule of meet and greets. Someone asked me, Misha, that's my name.
Okay.
Can you tell me anything about your role on The Boys? And I said, no. But I can tell you the genesis of Rob's role on The Boys. And then I explained that you had shared with Eric Kripke one of your personal Rob Benedict sexual fantasies.
Sexual fantasies, yeah.
And then he was like, that's amazing, I think I'm going to write that into the story.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you did that. And it's good to know that this is what's happening in meet and greets. And that's why everyone's coming out of the meet and greet and looking at me like, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I did. I said,
and I didn't know if that was like a secret or what, but now it's out in the open.
But now it's out there. Now you know, everybody. I said, please, Eric, make me naked. Having sex with 10 of me. Oh, please make that happen. And he did.
We get up and we talk about these things earnestly, and you know that there's like a certain percentage of the population and by extension audience who doesn't understand irony.
Right. They think that
people are going to go home and they're going to be like, you'll never guess what I heard about Rob Benedict's role on.
Yeah.
Did you know that was one of his?
Yeah, the guy who played God is a pervert.
Yeah. That was writing was on the wall. That one.
Yeah, well, we knew that.
It's like that time when we were in Australia 15 years ago, and Richard Spade said, I don't even know what the genesis of the
Someone came up and said, I love you so much, Richard Spade, and I was standing right next to him. Nothing for me, by the way. And then he said, where are you from? She said, Perth. And he said,
Rob hates Perth. And, Rob hates Perth.
And I was like, no, I don't. She looked at me, tears in her eyes. She was like, we take offense to that.
If you ever tried to travel to Perth now, it is like everyone in Perth knows that there's this fucking American actor who hates Perth.
All the rest of the weekend, no matter how much I said, like, so Richard joked, I did it on stage, and
it's like that thing like in the news when you say a false fact and then there's like fact checking on it. It's like, no, in fact that's not true. They don't eat pets. That reinforces the false information, and people just believe it that much more.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. But in this situation, Rob really does hate Perth.
I don't. But if you search Rob hates on Google, it fills it in Perth. All right, guys, Misha Collin.
Hi. I feel like I should get that portion of my time slot back because Rob totally monopolized it. Hi. Who said hello? Oh, you. Well, thank you for being so gracious. Nobody else said hi. Too late now. Copycat. You missed me? She just one-upped you. Thank you. Oh God, I want you! This could get bad. Hello, everyone. I was warned that this was a rowdy crowd, and it feels like it's true. It is. Minnesota is known for its rowdiness. Really? What's that? That is why we love you. No, there's many reasons why we love you. It's not just that, but it's mostly that. Hi. Well, it's nice to be here. What do we want to talk about today? Hi. Okay. So what is this? There's a little like square of tape here on the floor that says staff, and your staff, and you're taking photos. You know, I mean, creation, I know they're trying to save money, but they could get you a chair, right? No, you're staff. You sit on the floor. Now lick my foot. What's happening today? I think there is something in the air. I'm doing my one-man show in New York, and we're doing it at a special venue in New York in a few weeks. And there's like a nice setup there, and I was gonna meet up with people before the event and have drinks before the show. And I'm revealing another meet and greet conversation here. And somebody in the meet and greet said, you know, are you planning to repeat that somewhere else? And I said, no, I don't think so, because then you set up that, like, this is part of the problem. This is why I was sort of worried about doing this in the first place, because it sets up the expectation that then you're going to do that again in the future, and then people are going to be disappointed in the future at my shows if I don't have this thing before the show. It's sort of like the same reason that I never give my partner an orgasm. I don't know what's going on. People are not going to see me with her, and then they're going to think, oh, poor woman. Shit. Roll that back, please. Don't delete that portion of the footage. Okay, can you help me, please? Save me from myself.
Hi, I'm Patricia. I'm from Broward County, Florida.
Hi. Oh, you were like the center of elections maelstroms at one point, right?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh.
My question, well, we're all very excited for your upcoming appearance on the season of The Boys, and we would love to know anything about this season. It could be as unhinged as you want. However, we would like to hear it in the form of 2 lies and a truth. So you can make it up.
2 lies and a truth. Okay. So, standards and practices. Do you know what standards and practices are? It's like the censorship, the in-house censorship arm of any given television network or streamer. And because Amazon is a streamer and they're not beholden to FCC regulations, which are much more restrictive, they can kind of do whatever they want, and it's just a matter of taste. And they dissolved that division altogether at Amazon. And so this season on The Boys, I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying some of these things. This season on The Boys, they are showing full penetration. Homelander, really am going to get in trouble for some of these things. I think I actually signed something that said that I wouldn't share these details. Homelander actually dreamed everything up to this point. And he wakes up to find that he is a clerk working in an accounting firm. And the third one is that Eric Kripke, the show creator, makes a very substantial guest star appearance in one episode. But aren't you supposed to guess which one's true?
Oh, do you want me to guess?
Yeah.
Oh, does anyone else have a good guess? All right. Guys, can I get a show of hands? Who thinks one is the truth? Who thinks two is the truth?
Nobody believes two. And who believes three is the truth?
Okay, so let's say three.
And who believes none of them are true? Okay. The last group is correct. Sorry, I didn't want to get sued. Hi.
Hi, my name is Sony, and I'm just East Bethel, north of the Twin Cities here.
Hi.
How are you today?
Pretty good, thanks.
Saw you doing photo ops. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
You have a book of poetry.
I do have a book of poetry.
Do you have a favorite poem that you wrote in that poetry book?
I have a few poems in that book that I every once in a while, for some reason, I'll have occasion to open the book and I'll be like, oh, I kind of like that poem. I forgot about that. I tend to forget about almost everything. But there are two poems in that book that are about my kids that have special resonance with me that I quite like. One is called The Last Poem, and it's about the last time that you do different things in parenting. So, and you don't even notice that these things are going to be the last time you wipe your child's butt, or the last time they crawl into bed with you because they had a nightmare, or the last time you see them off to school before they go to college, or whatever. There's so many things, most of which you never even know it is the last until later, and quite often you don't remember the last incident of that. So it's sort of poignant, and my kids are 14 and 12, and getting ever more impatient with me and independent, and so I sort of think about that fairly often. Yeah, thanks. Hello.
I'm here.
You're from where?
Texas.
Oh my goodness, you're far from home.
I am.
What caused you to come here?
I've never been to Minn before, and I've heard good things.
Oh really?
Yeah.
How is Minn characterized? Like what's
Apparently, it's pretty chill, just good vibes, happy.
It's chill? I thought it was rowdy. I'm so confused.
It's Midwest rowdy, so it's like. Anyway, yeah, it's good to be here. Yeah, it's great. I hope you're having a good time.
I am, yes. Thank you for asking.
But, so my question is, what is one thing that you do on set frequently or predictably enough that your coworkers could make a drinking game out of it?
Well, I will say, when I was filming on Supernatural, it was laughing and ruining a tape by laughing. That was the thing that I was known for on set. And if that had been a drinking game, I think it would have caused even more laughter. And then eventually, it would have caused blackouts. Which we only had a few of on the set of Supernatural. We were just reminiscing. There was a couple of times when it was like a crew member was just like literally just passed out in the wings of the stages. We didn't have like terribly strict rules on the set of Supernatural. There wasn't a lot of enforcement of policies that normal workplaces might have. Yeah. We would have the, yes, I probably shouldn't share these things. I will just say this, there was a mandatory like workplace harassment seminar that we had to attend every year, and like all of the cast and all of the crew had to sit in chairs, look kind of like this. And the things that we would text each other during that, I'm scarred to this day. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth.
I'm from here. My question was, if there was a character on Supernatural, other than Cassio, that you could try playing, who would it be?
Well, I got to play as Castiel. I got to play other characters. I got to play Lucifer. I got to play a crazy version of myself. I got to play a human. I got to play another human who had amnesia. I got to play an SS officer. It was one of the things about being on Supernatural that I loved, which there was like this variety of what we were doing. Sometimes in season 12 and 13, it felt like there was not a lot of variety. But we did have like the opportunities to actually try on different hats at different times. I think it would have been fun to play, Sam at some point. In fact, there were a couple of times where like the idea had, like a body switching episode had been thrown around, and it sounded like it might happen. And I even went so far as to do a little bit of like, I was studying Jared a little bit and trying to figure out what are his mannerisms. Because I did that with Mark Pellegrino when he was playing, when he played Lucifer first. So I went over to his apartment before we started filming, and I was like, help me cheat. I want to like be able to copy what you did. What's going on in your head? And I like carefully watched his mannerisms. But I did a little bit of the same kind of homework because I thought we might be doing a body swapping episode with Jared. And I probably still do it. It was like, hey Cass. Hey Dean, how are you guys doing today? It's kind of uncanny, isn't it? I showed Jared that, and he was like, he did a double take because it was like he was looking in a mirror. It's so stupid. Thank you. Please do not yell from the audience. I can yell at you, but you do not yell at me. You understand? It's too much. Is this a new thing that we have? Is this only for MinnCon? This supposedly chill convention? Please do not yell from the audience and stop throwing things at the guests on the stage. Put your shirts back on! Hi.
Hello. My name is Shara. I'm from Vancouver.
Hi, what are you doing here?
I drove.
You drove from Vancouver?
Well, I drove to DC as well.
Fuck off! Really?
Yeah.
Well, are you afraid of flying? Yeah, a little bit, yeah. And you don't care about your carbon footprint? Actually, what's worse, flying or driving across country? It's hard to say these days.
I think it depends on the vehicle.
My dad was like, I don't know if I want to, my sister lives out in Portland now, and he's in Boston, so it's across the country, Portland, Oregon. And he's like, my sister had a baby, and my dad's wife is like, wants to go visit the baby all the time. And he's like, we can't do this anymore. We can't just be flying back and forth across the country. I feel too guilty about the carbon footprint. And I was like, Dad, The carbon footprint of you flying to go visit your granddaughter is not the problem. Like the problem is a million other things that is going on in our society and how we're burning energy. That is not the thing that causes global warming. But then he showed me some stats on how much fuel it was taking, and I was like, oh shit. Because I flew like 350,000 miles last year. Like that might be partly responsible for the LA fires. Okay, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Well, what I had to know is one parent to another, because let's face it, children are creepy. What is the creepiest thing your kids ever did where you're like, oh, I think I need an old priest and a young priest?
So my first line of defense when there's something creepy and your body language implied, like with some kind of like creepy sexual innuendo or something like that, is not to turn to a priest. They like paw at the, like kittens paw at the nipples of their mothers, like as they're trying to get milk. Do you know that? Like that like little like they do this what? Patting? Eating? Well, it helps draw the milk out, right? Daughter couldn't take her fingers off my nipples. And it was like, it became this thing, like she really loved feeling the nipple go from being flaccid to not. And she would just like, so I would like, she'll be cozied up and like, she'll have an arm flopped over me and like it's bedtime, reading a story or something, and then her creepy little hand. And it got to the point where I would be like, it's the only time I hit my daughter. I would slap her because I was like, Mason, no, I told you 100 times, stop touching my nipples. And it was just like, she could not resist. And given the opportunity, she's now 12, she would for sure go for it. It's pretty creepy. I'm sure I can think of creepier things. What about your kids?
Well, that would be my middle child, who for about a year and a half earned herself the nickname Beelzebub. That started when she would chase after little old ladies, specifically in the shopping mall, starting at about a year and a half old, going. But the origin of that sound was even creepier, because everybody knows that a lot of the modern baby monitors have video and have night vision, which makes the eyes light up in a wonderful way. So, middle of the night, about 13 months old, I hear come over the baby monitor. So I'm rolling over like, what the ever living? And I look at the monitor, and all I see is this face smushed up against the camera with nothing but glowing eyes, with the echoing.
I didn't realize when you said creepy that you had a demon child. That is creepy. I'm sorry. So you do need a priest. You need an exorcism.
That was the reference.
Yeah, got it. Okay. I'm sorry. Is she older now?
She's 9 now.
She's 9 and hosting seances?
Not quite yet, but I have a feeling it's going there.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, and good luck with that. Hello.
I'm Theo. I'm
Theo.
from here. Sorry. What's your favorite like memory from filming Supernatural?
My favorite memory from filming Supernatural? That's a very broad question. Can you give me more specificity on your question? Like, what kind of memory? What do
Just
you
like a fun memory that like you look back and you smile and you're like, wow, like that was like a really great time in my life, and like I'm so glad that I did that and had that experience.
On Supernatural? I wept every morning before going to work. Please don't make me go, I would say. Oh God, I don't know. I mean, I really loved, I loved so many things about our antics on the set. I think my fondest memories are just about the sort of the fun, silly antics that we got up to. I loved, at one point I made a mockumentary about what it was like behind the scenes on the set. And we had so much fun making fun of ourselves in the making of that mockumentary. It was quite enjoyable. I have fond memories that are also like Jared and Jensen and I, when we were in the early years, when I was in the early years on Supernatural, we were all still quite young in the scheme of things. And we would do things like have a few drinks and then get into wrestling matches. And one of my favorite moments on Supernatural was coming into the hair and makeup trailer. We'd been in Jacksonville, Florida for a convention the previous weekend, and this was Monday. And we were in the hair and makeup trailer, and Jared, they were like, the makeup people, the whole makeup crew was like standing in a circle around Jared, like, I don't know what we're gonna do. This is gonna be really hard to cover up. And he had like bruises and scrapes all over one side of his face. And I was like, dude, what the fuck happened, man? And he said, Misha, you did this. And that was a fond memory. Thank you.
My name is Bridget, and I'm from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I'm here with my daughter, Haley. I got picked, but she didn't. But if you could maybe say hi, Haley. Hi. She's over there.
Hi. I'm sorry, where are you? Raise your hand. I heard a voice over there. Oh, hi.
She's probably embarrassed. She's probably embarrassed that I'm doing this right now.
Yeah, well, I'm embarrassed for it. So you got picked and she did.
She did it, and she was too nervous.
So well,
I offered
that's
to
obvious. Like you're up at the microphone and she's not, and she knows that she didn't get picked. And you did, right?
Yes.
And you're just rubbing it in.
Yes. We have that type of relationship.
Cool.
Yes. So my question is, how did you feel about Castiel's wardrobe? Like never changing? Did you ever want to like don a flannel that's
First of all, I take issue with what you're saying right now. Castiel's wardrobe did change. And if you were a real aficionado, if you were a real student of Supernatural, then you would know that there were some pretty significant changes. I went into for my fitting. So first thing that you have to do is go in for your fitting, and they